For 10 years now, Silverwood has been my home park. It has an amazing 1-2 punch with Aftershock and Stunt Pilot. But since I've been going here for almost 10 years, these roller coasters have gotten a bit old. Don't get me wrong, these are still amazing rides, it's just that every time I go back they get a little less exciting. So today I'm going to be going over what I want at Silverwood, what I think they need, and what I think they're probably going to get as their next major roller coaster. Before we start, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe as it would help my channel out a lot. Even if you don't do that, I'd also like a comment just to let me know how I'm doing.
But without further ado, welcome to Want, Need, Probably, Episode 1.
Before I start the actual video, I'd like to get into some logistics. This is the Silverwood 2024 map. As you can see, it does not have a lot of space on it, except for maybe right here, behind Aftershock, because that's where the newest haunt was this year. And they could possibly expand by buying some land up here. Now you might be thinking to yourself, how are they going to fit a roller coaster in here? Well, that's the thing, is that that's not the only space that they have. As you can see, right here in the picnic area is this huge plot of land, and it's just grass. They used to hold events in here, I'm pretty sure, but now all it's used for is Battle of the Bands and choir competitions. And even then, that's only about in this area. And this is bordering Boulder Beach, so they can go pretty much anywhere from here up to here, which is quite a bit of land. So, now that we have our land plotted out, let's see about prices.
If you ask ChatGPT Silverwood's annual revenue, it'll say it's about $62.9 million. If you then ask what its profit is, it'll say about 10 to 20%, so let's go with 15%. If you do the math on a calculator, it equates to about $9.5 million. After we factor this in, we have to go to expansions. Silverwood paid about $10 to $20 million to get Aftershock, formerly Deja Vu. This opened in 2008, so around 17 years ago. Let's just say when they built Aftershock, their funds reset. Let's also say that their annual income back then was about $40 million today. Yes, this doesn't count for inflation. This would mean their average profit from 2008 would be about $4 million. Let's also say that that profit stayed the same for the next 10 years. This would mean they have roughly $40,500,000. I did a bunch of other math off camera that I don't really want to have to explain, but in the end they got around $106 million profit. Now it's time to account for other expansions. The Eagle Hunt expansion was reportedly about $15 million. 2 years prior was the Stunt Pilot expansion at about $6 million. In 2012 was the Garfield's Camp expansion, which was about $4 million. And then in 2016 was the Riptide Racer expansion at about $3 million. When you put that all together, you get in total $83 million.
Obviously, Silverwood isn't going to spend $83 million on one roller coaster, but it definitely widens the variety of roller coasters that Silverwood can get. Now that I finally did the math, I can actually go on to the want category of this list. I've already thought about this, and there's 2 different roller coasters that I think Silverwood could use. And by use, I mean I want them now. For my number 1 want spot, I'm going to put any sort of Intamin multi-launch roller coaster in this big grass patch. Now, do I think Silverwood's actually going to spend that much money to get an Intamin LSM multi-launch coaster? Absolutely not. This is why it's the want category. But after going overseas to Paris and getting to see Two de Tis at Parc Astérix, I think this could be a really, really good fit for this park. My second pick will be going over to Coaster Alley, where this isn't a completely new ride, just a refurbishment. And by refurbishment, I mean give Timber Terror the RMC treatment. RMC stands for Rocky Mountain Construction. They're a coaster manufacturer located only 5 minutes down the road from Silverwood, and they also built Stunt Pilot. If you don't know what RMC conversion means, it means just turning an old wooden coaster into a new state-of-the-art thrill coaster. Other noteworthy projects of theirs are Steel Vengeance, Iron Gwazi, and Railblazer. Now, I totally get that Timber Terror was Silverwood's first original wooden roller coaster, but still, this thing is getting very rough, and it either needs a refurbishment or an RMC treatment. And again, the reason this is on the want list is because I 100% doubt that they're going to give this thing the RMC. And it is the next day now, so you're going to have to bear with me, but let's go on to the need category and see what Silverwood really needs in their lineup. Silverwood currently has 5 major roller coasters: Aftershock, Stunt Pilot, Timber Terror, Tremors, and Corkscrew. After that, they have 2 little kids coasters called Tiny Toot and Crazy Coaster. As you can see, the main thing that's lacking at Silverwood is a family thrill ride. This is their current family area, and it's not very big, only having 2 roller coasters and a couple of kids' flat rides. Unfortunately, that means that the roller coaster that kids are going to have to go on to boost their confidence is going to be Corkscrew. Even then, Corkscrew isn't really a good introduction roller coaster because it goes upside down twice and it is extremely rough. I think the perfect manufacturer for this job is Vekoma. They've made plenty of family coasters and they definitely know what they're doing for transition roller coasters. I'm more specifically talking about 2 models, the Family Boomerang or something like Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood. A family boomerang takes you out of the station backwards, and then you traverse the course forwards, you do a little stall, and then you go backwards and do the rest of the course. I can see this ride working extremely well in this big grass patch area. And if you've never heard of Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood, this is a linear induction motor roller coaster. It's a very well-fitting model for this park considering it has no launch coaster and it doesn't have a coaster that exceeds a minute and a half. I think this roller coaster model could work extremely well just above Thunder Canyon in this area. The two main problems that Silverwood would have building this is the fact that they would have to buy more land and the roller coaster model in question is very expensive. Just to put into perspective, Big Bear Mountain was about $25 million. And that's not accounting for the amount of money they'd have to pay for the land and advertising for that year alone. If Silverwood would be willing to pay for this, however, it could be a top 10 park. With that all out of the way, let's go to the profits again and see what they're probably willing to buy. I personally believe that Silverwood is probably going to get a family coaster. With that being said, let's go through some family coasters that are within Silverwood's price range. Because I don't know their exact net worth, I'm going to say that their average money that they're willing to spend is about $20 to $30 million. I think the roller coaster that fits the perfect criteria is a family boomerang roller coaster by Vekoma. After doing some research, I came across a Coaster Force page. The topic was a price tag for a family boomerang coaster. User Kenobi Fan attached a link to the only family Vekoma boomerang that actually had a price tag listed. This is Fireball at Furovik in Sweden. And if you click on it, this is the actual price. This equates to about $2.7 million. This price tag is a lot cheaper than a lot of Silverwood's newest investments. If you're not aware of Silverwood's layout, when you go into the park and straight to the left, it's the Kiddieland. There's this small little area that you immediately enter into, and it has one roller coaster and a flat ride. The entire Kiddieland isn't very big, so I don't think it could fit into Kiddieland. This means Silverwood realistically has one of two options. They can either put it split off from the Kiddieland in this big grass patch, or they can split it off and also make it just above Thunder Canyon. Either way, I don't think Silverwood can exactly put it in the Kiddieland. It could help kids used to get to the feeling of going faster and going higher, and it would also boost attendance.
But what do you think about this? What do you think Silverwood Theme Park could benefit from? If you have any ideas, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing as it would help my channel out a lot. And if you'd like me to do this to another park, please just leave a suggestion in the comments. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next episode.